Hey there, everyone. My name is Jonathan Reyes, and I'm actually the CEO and co-founder here at Aquaponics AI. And I am excited to get to share this dashboard with you today. We've been working really hard on it, and we just released our V2. And so this is kind of a big thing for us, and we're excited, and we're looking to continually improve it. And we're just taking all these requests in from you guys, and we're trying to make it the best tool out there for aquaponics. And so I just want to show you a little bit of the features, and hopefully it'll be useful to you and your farm. Right off the bat, I just want to share, if you're not as comfortable in English, there will be more and more languages over time. Right now we support Spanish and Arabic, and so if you're in those languages, lucky for you, the dashboard's in that language. And if you're not in that language, just hit us up and let us know that you need this in your language. And we're basing it off of volume. So please, if you do need it in your language, please tell us so that we know. So when you first log in, you'll see quite a bit of information right off the bat. And you'll see I have multiple projects, not just one project. So I have the 100-acre farms and a STEM training center. You could actually have unlimited number of projects in your system, in your account. And so when you're looking at these projects, you can get a quick insight into the health of the system. And so right now you'll see my pH is this and my TAN is this, nitrite. And so I feel pretty good, and this is actually not bad. So I feel like I don't have to do anything about this. But say a value was way out of place, I would need to call someone up, go check it out, and do an on-site check. So you'll also notice I have an alert here that I had set up, and so it got triggered. And so I do need to focus on this farm a little bit. So when you're in here the first time, you're gonna want to create your first project. So let's just say I actually live in Amman, Jordan right now. And I'm just gonna say this project is in Amman, Jordan. So it'll pull all this weather information for me, the humidity, the temperature, etc. So we can use those to compare how it affects the water and how, all these other factors. So you could also select your language here. And these are really powerful. If you want to check it out, I'll put a link to it, but these are the project templates. And I won't go into it in detail right now, but you could actually just click this link and I'll show it to you guys in a different video. So I'm just going to select the file right now and hit create. And what this does is it goes through and sets everything up, and my project is ready to go. That's literally how easy it is to get in and get started with this system. So you could have any number of systems at your house if you're more the tinkerer type and you want to have different things going on. So that's going to be a very valuable thing for you. So let's check out one of these farms that has a little bit more data so you can get a feel for what it would look like. And I'm going to go back maybe like a month or so that you can see what's going on. So what I just did was I just played with my data. I had information that I put in over time, and this is actually showing that information in a way that makes sense to you, makes sense to me. I could just see from a distance what's actually going on in the system. And so you could go through here and see at different points in time, it's syncing the time frame, so you could mouse over it and you could see what it was like in different time periods. So the different pH, ammonia, nitrite setup. And then you scroll down a little bit more, and if you're cycling your system, this is a fishless cycling widget. And this will help you move through the different stages of cycling, and all you have to do is record your data. So you do your API test kit or whatever you're using to actually record your data or to test the water. You record that data in the system, and it will tell you how mature your system is over time. So right now, with these just few metrics that I threw in here, it's telling me I just need to wait for the maturation of the nitrogen cycle, and then I could start adding fish. So that's awesome. I mean, you can get in there. You don't have to learn all the different things about cycling. You could just get in there and start recording your metrics. The other thing you'll notice is that it is pulling in the weather, and it's pulling in all of the valuable things that would be essential for your grow. And it's pulling in, it's observing your pH and telling you what nutrients are available at that pH. And so you could see over time your pH is changing with that your pH is changing, and with that, the nutrients are changing as well, the availability of nutrients. And so your plants will have deficiencies if your pH goes into different ranges, for example. And so this is really important to watch. I'll get into alerts a little bit more later, but I just wanted to show you this widget. It actually shows me that I have a triggered alert that I need to attend to right now. And this is a medium level alert that needs to be adjusted. And then I have my tasks, and this is from my SOP, my standard operating procedures. And this is from project templates or your own customization. And I could just go through and start checking things off for things that I'm doing at the farm, which is also, you're able to do this from your mobile device using our app. And you could also get an overview of what it is you're supposed to be doing if it's more in depth. And you say you wanted to bring someone onto your farm and have them start doing stuff right away, you wouldn't have to explain everything. You would just give them this task list and it would show them exactly what they need to be doing. This ammonia toxicity chart is one of the new additions in the V2. And this will show you how toxic your ammonia is in the system based off of temperature, pH, and the TAN value, the total available, total ammonia nitrogen. And so this produces a number for the unionized ammonia. And depending on how high that number is, the more toxic that ammonia is in the water. And so if that number gets too high, then you need to make some adjustments. Next, you'll see this activity log of everyone and anything that has been going on in your system. So this is actually a really good spot if you're a STEM educator or if you're a farm manager. You could actually see who's doing what and when, and if someone's leaving a note that they need to be doing something. So this is extremely valuable. So this system is meant to be collaborative. You can add team members, and you can have multiple projects with different sets of team members. And so you can have any number of people working on a project at any given point. So if you have a 10-acre farm, this works. If you have a backyard system, this works as well. You could see that we also have a calendar. And this calendar is built to be simple, and you can implement it, and you could just log in and see the different things that you have to do for that day. The powerful thing about this calendar is that it also supports an iCal feed. So this can be pulled into your Google Calendar, your Outlook calendar, your Microsoft, whatever calendar you're using. You could easily pull that in using this button right here, and you just get a subscription, and that'll give you a link that you just copy and paste into your iCal feed. And that will automatically update according to your settings, and you'll be ready to go. Notebooks are the powerhouse for your data. And this is where you can actually go in and individually look at a notebook over time. And you can see the things that are happening in that notebook, and you can look at who's recording it and what value it was, unless it's like a sensor or something. And so you can do individual analysis on a particular notebook, and you could change the granularity, day, week, month, etc. So very powerful tools to analyze your data right off the bat. Again, all you have to be doing is logging in. You could either manually enter your data, or what we'll talk about next, the sensors. The sensors are powerful. I mean, you can just hit create sensor button, and it will create an IoT endpoint for you and your Raspberry Pi, your Blue Lab, whatever you want to use. And it will create that endpoint for you, and all you have to do is connect it, and you're ready to go. All your data is getting pulled into our system. And so there's sample code, there's a whole support database for this feature. So if there's something that has you stumped, we probably have a resource to help you figure it out. And we're also on the support chat as well. The alerts is a very powerful feature for people that don't want to be looking at the data every day, and I think that's just about everyone. And so when you're in here, you could actually create alerts for anything, as long as you're tracking it. So you could set your triage level if it's low, medium, or high in terms of the severity. You could set alerts for water temperature, your bricks readings. These are just sample notebooks that I have here from the actual notebook area. So I could set any value from any notebook here. So say you're tracking carbon dioxide, or I don't know whatever it is. And you could say if it's greater than some number, Also, if it's that and a nitrate value is less than 1, for example, then this should be an alert that gets triggered. So there's a lot of power here in terms of what you could be tracking. And finally, in the project dashboard, you have the checklists, and this is where you set up your SOP. And so when you're creating an item, you can do name, description, interval, so that this is every day, this is every week, or maybe it's every 2 weeks on a Monday and Tuesday. There's very customizable ways of doing this type of log or this type of checklist item. And then you can actually associate it with a log. So say I wanted to create a checklist item to check nitrite every week or 3 times a week. Then I would set that up as every week, 3 times a week. And then I would set up the nitrate log and nitrite log. And then every time I go to my mobile app and I enter that number, this checklist item will automatically check off. And it'll say that I actually did this and this was on the SOP and it's done. If you were running a test or like a temporary, maybe you only do certain things within a certain season, you could actually set the start date and end date, and it'll only show that checklist item or that part of the SOP within that time range. So lots of customizability in here in this checklist, the SOP, and you can customize it completely to your liking. You can use a template to start off with, like the FOW, for example, and then modify it to fit your schedule, to fit your system size and everything. So there's also research and resources and support. I won't go into those now. I'll leave that for you to explore. And that is the general overview of the project dashboard for Aquaponics, and we're excited to release the V2 version. It's live now, and we'll be rolling out these charts shortly as of today. So by the time you're watching it, it'll probably be out. And I think that you will like this a lot. And if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to hit us up. There's always a messenger box in the bottom corner. Just tap on that and we'll be at arm's length. We'll be right there talking with you and helping you through your aquaponic journey. So thank you and have a great day.